GHRCE College of Engineering.
Overlooked. However, all engineers design, create and innovate, essentially working as creative problem solvers. Creation and innovation are undoubtedly the buzzwords today. The link between creativity and engineering is clear. Where society demands can be met by new technological solutions, we need engineers who are equipped both technically and creatively to generate those solutions. The science of today is the technology of tomorrow. GHRCE believes in creating that tomorrow today, for which a credit subject, mini modeling, has been introduced in the syllabus of second semester. It serves as a platform for all the budding engineers to show their creativity and talent in their areas of interest. It inculcates an understanding to different phases and various techniques of model development in the first year itself. Around 250 models are prepared by the first year students on various themes of mini modeling, such as designing of 3D models, IoT-based applications, designing of smart city project, iSafe, product or app development, optimization of resources and many more. We have many eminent personalities from industries and academics to judge the mini model exhibition. We have with us Mr. GHRCE, an eminent industrialist and chief guest of today's program. Dr. Karyakarkar, CEO of Lars Enviro. Mr. Animesh Jaipurkar, Director of GHRCE. We also have many in-house judges to judge the mini models. It is my privilege to introduce to the gathering our today's chief guest and eminent industrialist, Mr. GHRCE. Mr. Chaudhary is the angel investor and co-founder. He is also a mentor and entrepreneur. Sir's mission is to build startup ecosystem at Nagpur. He is funding not only regular startups but student startups as well. Mr. Chaudhary has invested in very interesting startups like shepherds.com, kalku.com, locationguru.com, medicinery.com and many more. Sir was also the ex-president of TiE Nagpur chapter, which is a non-profit global community welcoming entrepreneurs from all over the world. Welcome, sir. Now, I request our chief guest to grace the occasion by his inspiring words and declare this exhibition open.
Very warm welcome to everybody over here. Very good morning. Dignitaries sitting on the dais and off the dais, all professors and dear students. We are already late, so but I'm not going to dwell upon like a long speech. So I've been told that I should speak for only 5 minutes. So one of my classmates, the college mates. So it happens to be that all our old people are, most of them are from the same colleges. So 85. So yeah. So. Just to set the tone for the today's, I think you've been hearing this since the morning, and I was initially told that we will start by 9:30, but then we had to start at 10:30, and now we're already at 10:50, I suppose, at 10:46, so already kind of a delay for like 30-40 minutes, 1 hour almost. I think, it's a very, very very, very interesting to see this initiative, which is now a credit course, which happens to be now in the second semester, and you are making that beginning happen into the first year itself. And I believe this is extremely right time to get started. And exploring into the uncharted territories, getting into those uncomfortable zones, trying to do something very interesting, creative, and work on some very, very interesting ideas. And to get that first step in terms of, because everything goes into a step by step. So it's a teaching, then learning, and then it gets into the innovation, research into the innovation, and innovation into entrepreneurship. But believe me, guys, there's a lot of journey between the idea to institution, idea to the entrepreneurship. And unfortunately, most of our society so far, or I would say the engineering society so far, has been limited to the research and innovation part of it. I mean, maximum from a teaching, education to the research, and research to the innovation, and not many people have been really able to take this innovation to the entrepreneurship, and that's the need of the hour right now. And because so many young people, and the innovation and the creative is not function of any age. If the person is creative, the person is intelligent, by all medical sciences it's been proved, by 18 years of your age, you are almost like anybody. Your human intellect per se is as developed as anybody in the world. Any person which is like 25 years or 30 years or 35 years, what happens after 18 years is just the experiences, and those experiences you help in connecting the dots and creating some interesting offering. But from a medical standpoint of view, if you are, as it is 17, 18, you are as good as anybody sitting on the dais. From an intellect perspective, your intellect development has already happened. And so the creativity and the innovation is not function of age. And again, most of those creative ideas and the innovative ideas will always come from young people. I mean, gone are the days, the people with the gray hair and people with no hair. So, I mean, those people can't, I mean, it's very, very difficult for them to innovate. And there is always this Gen X versus Gen Y kind of a thought process, and that young thought process which is bold, which is like, getting into a territory which is like, something which old people cannot even think of. Because, see, old people like us, they get stereotyped because we have seen so many things fail, and we have seen so many business models. What happens is, moment somebody comes with the idea, we will be the first people will tell you why it will not work. Because there are those 10, 20 different reasons through which, we will try to tell you that why there are limitations to particular idea. But the young people are bold. Young people can think of crazy ideas. And that's where the difference is. All these big companies are created by the young people. They were not in the age of 40s or 50s. They were all at the age of below 30s. When the Facebook started, when the Microsoft started, when the Apple started, when the YouTube started, all these companies were crazy people, very high intellect people, very passionate people, starting their bold ideas in the early stage of their life. Because what happens is, too much of a knowledge, so-called knowledge, I am not saying but too much of a knowledge puts boundaries on the imagination. And you are unconstrained. You can think it bold. You can think of breakthrough ideas. And you are not afraid of the kind of things. And all the groundbreaking ideas where the thing have changed in terms of whether it's a pre or post, that means the world has changed because of those ideas. I mean, when the Microsoft came in, the world changed. When the Apple iPhone came in, the world changed. It's a pre-iPhone era and post-iPhone era. That's the impact the entrepreneurs really made. And these crazy people, think of those bold ideas which are on the border of genius and mad. Only these people can think of these ideas. I mean, if they are successful, because they are on the border, if they are successful, they are called as genius, and if they fail, they are called as mad. But only those people who are unconstrained, who can think without boundaries. I mean, that's a very classical, right? The bumblebee. You have heard about the bumblebee. And the bumblebee for that matter, that insect, the weight to the wingspan ratio versus weight is 1 to 8 times adverse. By law of physics, by any law of physics which you learned in the 12th standard or maybe in the first year, by law of physics says that the wingspan to the weight ratio is 8 times adverse and bumblebee cannot fly. But the good part is, bumblebee doesn't know it, she flies. And that's the beauty of this thing. You are unconstrained. You think of all those possibilities, and between those all possibilities and that madness and the genius, the new things are going to come in. And most importantly, that's where the things are going to move. We are going to be youngest country. You must have heard it up to number of times. We are going to be the largest people with a young population. And who can relate to their problems? Who can relate to their problems? Can old people solve the young India's problem? No. Young India thinks very differently. Their thought process, their approach, their upbringing is very different. And therefore, to solve young India's problem, we need young people. And these young people, and this is your first step. But what I'm trying to encourage you is that don't limit your first step just to a kind of an idea or just showing it in a project competition. That's good first step. But try to take it to the logical end. Not every person would be able to take it to its logical end, but try to build on this and try to take this innovation to the entrepreneurship. And that's where the India is going to grow. I mean, all these young people, unless you start taking yourself very seriously, because what happens is sometimes because of the conventional social systems we had in the college and in the society, we don't take ourselves very seriously, and we need to take our youth very seriously. These are all capable people. I mean, you never know, some of the big industrialists, some of those big companies which are going to be born out of the same people sitting over here, they are from the same class. And I can tell you with authority and the responsibility also, I have seen that irrespective of any college, irrespective of any type of education, the 10% of you are world class. And I'm not saying Nagpur class, I'm not saying Maharashtra, I'm not saying India. These people sitting over here at the age of 17, 18 are world class. At this point of time, maybe you might think this is a kind of a statement which could be an overbearing kind of statement, but I can definitely tell you by experience, because I was a teacher for 10 years too. So I've seen these students grow in the last 30 years and how they have performed on the canvas of the world. So I believe that all this very interesting set of people are sitting over here, very creative people are sitting here. We have taken the first step, and most importantly, by taking that first step itself is an achievement. And that achievement is that, you get to know yourself much better, because how you stand among the competition, can you face people, there are going to be the questions asked, you are going to be fearing whether my model is going to work or something is going to go wrong or right or whatever it is. It's always going to be the first time, and better you know yourself right at the early stage, it becomes easy for you to assess your strengths and weaknesses, and you have enough runway for 3 to 4 years to work on that and sharpen all your skills to test and face this tough competition which is going to be there. But the bright people with the right mindset and the right innovative and creative mindset here, if they start their journey early, the chances of making it to the top, because everything is moving fast, the age of the CEO has reduced from 55 to 45 to 35. The people are peaking at 35. If you are beyond 40, you are not going to be CEO of company. I can almost guarantee you. They're going to change 12 jobs per year, almost in your career. Life of companies have been changed. Life of companies, earlier it was like 50 to 60 years. Life of companies 15 years now. If you take all those companies which were there in 1960 and find out how many of those top companies out of top 500 companies, only 14% companies are present. Rest of the companies are gone. I mean, they are just below the radar. Companies are coming up faster, companies are going on. So the things are fast, and if you really start preparing yourself earlier in anticipation of the things which are going to come in, I think that's going to help. That's the classical story of caterpillar, right? The caterpillar starts climbing on the tree and she's slow, and she starts climbing on the tree when there are no leaves, and she starts in the summer, and people are laughing. Why you are in the project competition? Why you are taking those efforts? People are ridiculing, and that's the way the caterpillar was also ridiculed. Why you are climbing on the trees, your pace is slow, and there are no leaves on the tree. And she said, I've started climbing at this point of time. I know my speed is low. I've started early. By the time I reach the top, the monsoon will be there, and there will be the green leaves, and I'll be right at that point of time. And that's where you guys have taken your first step in taking a journey and starting early. And all compliments to all the competitors over and all the organizers. A very, very nice step, and all the best for your first project exhibition in a college. Maybe you have done in the 9th or 10th or 12th or whatever it is. But this is your first project in your professional journey. All the best for you. Thank you.
Now, as the exhibition is declared open, I request the chief guest and the other dignitaries to kindly inspect the displayed models and please provide us with your valuable feedback and guidance afterwards.
So the base is made up of plumbing pipes. We try to make it like we use the it is made up of plumbing tubes, and there are many engine ways along the road which are affecting the oil. So we try to make it eco-friendly or reduce the consumption of fuel, and we use here remote control. We can make it with future modification. We can make it remote control wireless. It can be detachable, clutch bags can be added, and it can be compact. You can use it as it can be compact, like folding small size. And we can also design a foldable design for it. So we can just basically also try it on idea like this is the layout, first we try it. And stability. Yes. In the long run, as it is not detachable, there are the blades we use the cutter blades. So we can use if the motor is high RPMs, like more than 1000 RPM, it can rotate fast, and we can use only a wire to cut the grass. Yes. Yes. It's just a prototype.
I'm just trying to understand. The main stress is on the use of this material, which is easily available. That's what
Yes. It is now as each and every house contains a lawn nowadays, so it is used and beneficial for each and every person. It is used in college, individual small scale as well as large scale.
सर्किट कंप्यूटर में यहाँ पे हम उसका लगाया सर इसमें डिसएडवांटेज यहाँ पे आ रहा था सर ये जो यहाँ पे लगा दिया और समझ में नहीं आ रहा था सर जब हवा में था सर तब वो वाइब्रेट हो रहा था और जमीन पे गिरा तो वो वाइब्रेट हो रहा था समझ में आ रहा था फिर वो समझ में आया कि ये पूरा जो यहाँ पे लगा था चार्ज पूरा ग्राउंड हो रहा है इस वजह से वो मतलब मिल नहीं रहा था यहाँ पे यहाँ लगा था और सर हमने यहाँ पे आर्डिनो यूज़ किया था आर्डिनो सर जगह बहुत तेज बनाने की कोशिश की अगर 9% अगर फ्यूचर में सर अगर सर लोकेशन और अगर 5% सर अगर मुसीबत में तो अगर वो अगर बोलेगा कैब और एम्बुलेंस तो आप एम्बुलेंस उसकी जगह पे आ जाएगी ट्रैक हो जाएगी सब करने वाले सर और सर जीपीएस में प्रॉब्लम नहीं आ रहा था सर जैसा आपको गाड़ी पे बैठे सर जीपीएस में मोबाइल में होता है राइट तो सर गाड़ी जब जा रही थी सर टर्निंग के बाद वो टर्निंग के मतलब थोड़ी देर बाद वो राइट बोलते रहता है सर जब तक अपन वो रोड पे आ नहीं जाते थोड़ी देर बाद जब
जब वो गाड़ी रोड पे आ जाती है तब उसके बाद वो बोलना बंद कर देता है। और ये तो इंसान है सर, चलने में तो टाइम लगेगा, जब वो चलेगा टर्न होगा अभी भी वो टर्न राइट बोलेगा, वो कन्फ्यूज हो जाएगा कि जाना कहाँ है। तो वो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है सर। हाँ, और ये हाँ 35-40 मीटर टाइम लगता है, तो वो कन्फ्यूजन है उस समय में जब वो चलना कहाँ है, वो टर्न राइट उस समय बोलते हैं। वो हो चुका है
व्हीकल बोर्ड वॉकिंग वाला बोर्ड है, उस पर जाकर देन और सर हो सकता है कि इसको रेंज बहुत कम पकड़ता हूँ, रेंज भी आपका
primary and the models are not servo, so the calibration is somewhat up and down. But sir, this one works fine. And so I have made some ideas. Sir, here we have used these tracks which are using modular features. And sir, for this just for time. Basic. What was the writing? These were the first generation of sir, I am planning to just make it like this, that we have just this the photo, scan the photo, it will create this default software, then it will go to the Arduino, then via Arduino, it will go to the drivers and this will drive the motor and then the steps will come. Sir, when you see there are many processes, but sir, none of them are made from the binary version, none of them are made the binary version, and sir, which they are using G code, but nobody tells us what they are using or what code they are using. Sir, right from the start, so I did not go for that because we are having hard subject, so from that I took the idea and what is the advantage? Sir, binary code is like we can code of single bit. Sir, as I am using it at lower cost, so if I reduce the cost to more, sir, we have chosen those comfortable steps. The steps for length is more codes will be required for less. That's it. Sir, this CD drive is aimed out for this as the motor is driven by the belt. So sir, its movement is under. I was going to have this movement also in this video. Sir, we can now it's also in terms of सर्कल इज नॉट पॉसिबल सर्कल बहुत मुश्किल से अच्छा होता है एकदम छोटी छोटी स्टेप्स आगे इसलिए मैंने वो क्वेश्चन पूछा सर्कल के लिए मैं जीवन यूज करता हूँ सर्कल से सर्कल का
we are offering the
Like this wire, but we cannot this wire.
यहाँ पे फिर वो आप वायरलेसली भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं।
वाईफाई सर, ये वाईफाई मॉड्यूल सर, इससे वाईफाई मॉड्यूल से सर हमने इसको आर्डिनो से कनेक्ट किया तो सर वायरलेस भी डाटा
लेकिन सर अभी वो उसका मॉड्यूल का कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, ओवर हीट हो गया था। आपने क्या क्या काम किया सर? हमने जो उसका प्रोग्राम मतलब नहीं, ये जो आ रहा है हाँ सर, ये जो सेंसर है ऑल सेंसर जो है, कौन से लैंग्वेज में सेंसर आर्डिनो का आईडी आता है सर, ट्यूब पर, और जो सेंसर है वो डायरेक्ट डेटा नहीं भेजता है हमें कि कितना फ्लो हो रहा है, क्या ये है हमारा सेंसर कौन सा है, ये वाला। इसके अंदर में एक फैन है सर, एक ग्राउंड है, एक 5 वोल्ट का सप्लाई है, और एक जो इम्पल्सेस है वो देखो पल्स के
उसका रोटेशन फैन है
आप लोगों ने
फैन का रोटेशन और रोटेशन का पल्स जनरेटर सब वो काम
करते हैं
So
of the applications we have seen is the kind of sensors which are now available, right? And then we have this Arduino, right? And then we developed on the kind of using this Arduino board, and then you have the sensors, and then you have the Bluetooth and GPRS, all those things combined, and then to try to create a business solution out of it. This thing, kind of memory and the processor, 550 megahertz. What's the cost? What's the cost right now? The cost is $5. $5 is 300 rupees. And if you apply the Moore's law, what's going to happen? Within 5 years, it will be 50 times faster. And right now, what's the size of that complete computer? Size is this much. Just like a chain, just like a small, बड़ा बेर जो होता है, बस बड़े बेर का साइज का आज का है, आज है जो हम देख रहे हैं, not in the development, right? So everything is not going to be only sensors. It is going to be a computing power which is going to be embedded into each of this device, which you will see, because the size will be 1/10. तो इतना साइज हो तो उसका साइज कितना हो जाएगा, एंड कॉस्ट अगर आज 300 रुपए तो बाद में कितना रुपए का होगा, 5 रुपए का। तो 5 रुपए 3 रुपए में जैसे कैंडीज खा रहे हो वैसे वैसे कंप्यूटर आपको फ्री में मिल जाते हैं। एंड इट्स ऑलमोस्ट गोइंग टू दैट 300 आज है, जो 2 साल पहले the people started developing. Now we see the actual finished product. To use the programming in terms of the IDE for the first time, somebody learned the programming for the first time, and then combining this to be exposed to that level. And that's the reason why when I started out, when I talked to you in the morning, and that's the point again is being reinforced, that innovation and the creativity is not limited to any particular age. It's not that third year can do it or fourth year on down. Any 4 people sitting over here can compete any company in the world. Because the cost of innovation has gone down, because it has become much more cheaper. It is available. Whatever is available in the US is available to you next day in the terms of software, in terms of the hardware, and the costs are going down. And that means this is a unique chance for you people to think creatively about applying this to solve some India-specific problem. And I can see those kind of things in some of those projects where people are trying to apply this technology. And that's the only way. That's the only way we can solve the India's problem, by creating the disruptive solutions, by applying technology, and so that at the lowest cost to solve a business case. So now try to solve that particular angle and try to see which particular problem you can effectively solve. इंजीनियर का प्रॉब्लम क्या है? बस चल गया तो खुश है, बस बटन दबाया चल गया, right? So the product starts working and the concept is demonstrated. That means I have won the world. That's where the engineers typically think of, and there are at least 6 to 7 steps before you really take it to the market. So one is your prototype, then you get to a product which is kind of a full-fledged product which is an alpha and beta stage. Then you take it to a piece. I mean, you have done a very good job in terms of applying those concepts, but taking this concept to a logical end is a process. And if you just stick along and start improving on those concepts and take it to the step by step to the next level, you never know, possibly you have a winner in your hand. So very glad to see this kind of initiatives. Again, compliments and all the best for all the participants and all the staff members.
For all the students' innovation. The students just wanted to let all of you know that campus dinners team you must be knowing in the campus. So that's all initiative of Shashi sir. For last 2 years he was working rigorously. First year we could not do. Second year yes, to some extent. And the Big Star team who is winning many prizes. So it's one out of almost we can say 2,000 students the team has worked on. Out of that many startups have come up, but then they have mentored for to be entrepreneur out of these projects only. And then finally out of 75 there are 5 B groups, 5 C groups, but yes, one product which is really moving ahead, wherein they won first prize in 3 IIT, IMT and many others, and must have won by this time 2 lakh rupees cash prizes. So that is how you could be one of them if you really work on the guidance guidance which has been given by Shashi sir. So this is only first phase. So, and then prototype, which is going, maybe prototype and still there may be a number of bugs, but then if you really seriously work on that, you could be one as the Big Step team is successfully working in the campus. So all the best. Thank you Shashi sir and all, Daryapurkar sir, Anilesh and many of the judges who have been here since morning. They all are closely associated with GHRCE incubation and innovation team.
All the dignitaries on the dais, sharing his valuable time and honoring us by accepting our invitation with a great pleasure and giving his valuable comments so that you can excel in your future on your projects. Our sincere thanks to our Honorable Chairman Sir, Sujit Asuni, for continuous support for such type of activities and encouraging us to conduct and evaluating the academic standards to high level. I feel great to express my thanks to our Director, Dr. P.R. Vijay. We have been a great source of inspiration for us. We are also thankful to Dean Admin, all HODs and staff for their continuous support and present here. Our thanks to PRO, Mr. Naresh and other supporting staff for their support. And once again, I wish all the best for your efforts which you have taken since September and finally bring into the form of models for evaluation. Thank you once again.